Challenge Part 1 of a really good doubleheader here tonight on ESPN. Still to come, Duke and Auburn from Cameron Indoor Stadium. Nate Oates and company trying to come in to the Dean Smith Center and pick up a W. This is the third straight year that these teams have matched up. We mentioned the Sweet 16 game where Alabama knocked off the 1 seed North Carolina in the tournament. 4-overtime game out in Portland early in the season. Ready to go here. And Alabama wins the tip. And Sears gives off to Philon. Alabama without Latrell Wrightsell, who had surgery today on a torn Achilles. Kick out Nelson, who puts it on the floor.
And the key for North Carolina is to get off to good starts. Each game in Maui, they find themselves down.
And Alabama here in Chapel Hill, and a good one here tonight. Trimble. Look at Seth Trimble and the step forward that he has taken, especially those three-point numbers, and now well into double figures. Or at least he's basically playing a small forward spot, so they're undersized compared to Alabama.
Well, he's a good defender.
Hubert Davis in his fourth year as the head man, of course, was an outstanding player here. And last year, the ACC Player of the Year led him to the 1 seed and a regular season conference title. SEC has had the better of this challenge thus far, having won 9 of 10 over the ACC. Hard to believe.
It's embarrassing.
But only 2 points, and coming from the free throw line.
Remember last time these teams played, Grant Nelson had 24 points. It's really when his NBA comp really skyrocketed as a player. Really showed you his versatility all over the court. Had a pretty monstrous game to lead this team to the Elite Eight.
Davis, that three-point attempt missed by a lot. Nate Oates, what a job he's done since coming from Buffalo.
Around, he just gobbles up all that open space. You have to be physical, get in his way, and initiate the contact.
Foul on Seth Trimble, his first. And here's Nelson at the line. You mentioned the Sweet 16. Nelson went for 24 and 12 and 5 blocks.
I mean, he leads the team in 15 offensive rebounds versus Oregon. Had a tough shooting night, only 7 points. You know, him and Mark Sears need to be explosive in a game like this.
27% from 3, but preseason ACC Player of the Year and preseason first team All-America. Sears into the paint, scoops it in. Withers gets inside, hesitates, and he traveled. Here the early going, Alabama with an 11-7.
Drake Powell and Ian Jackson, 2 of the best wings in college basketball, and they're both coming into their own offensively and defensively.
Lubin able to pull it down. Both guys may be one and done. We'll see. Davis to Jackson. Hubert Davis talks about getting a text every night at the end of the day from Ian Jackson, and he simply texts Coach Davis.
Can't settle for long shots over that length.
Sears able to knock that one down. A bit of slow start for him. Just 29 points, 29% from 3. He's got 11 points in this game, so he's off to a good start. But a guy who normally knocks down a lot of threes has been sluggish from beyond the arc thus far this year. Withers. And Reed comes flying in. And Alabama the other way. They don't have numbers.
Can't settle for long shots over that length.
Sears able to knock that one down. A bit of slow start for him. Just 29 points, 29% from 3. He's got 11 points in this game. So he's off to a good start. But a guy who normally knocks down a lot of threes has been sluggish from beyond the arc thus far this year. Withers. And Reed comes flying in. And Alabama the other way. They don't have numbers.
Recognition is critical.
When do you remember the transition three starting to become such a focal part of offense in basketball?
Oh, it's Bamalytics, right? I mean, that's how the NBA plays, especially when you start playing teams that have 4 out, 5 out. Young players are flaring towards the three-point line instead of going for easier twos.
Nelson pushes it up ahead. Aden Holloway hesitating, took it out, back towards the basket, and then it's knocked out of bounds. That's at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, and our ESPN doubleheader has 4th-ranked Texas going up against 10th-ranked Notre Dame, and that'll be followed by number 8 Duke and number 3 South Carolina.
I said earlier that R.J. Davis, Elliot Cadeau, and Seth Trimble account for 50% of their team's scoring. Those guys have to find a way to get it going offensively. And I don't like settling.
That one deep and off the mark. These are 2 of the top scoring teams in the country. And a deep three from Aden Holloway. And in terms of adjusted offensive efficiency, both teams are in the top 10.
Well, Ty Claude, if the way Aden Holloway, the Auburn transfer, which still blows my mind that I'm saying out loud, to Alabama. But you got to get up on those ball screens. These guys, they're trigger ready. Aycott, no Harrison Ingram.
Right at Sears. And they'll go to the line.
Alabama just everywhere on the offensive glass, but multiple white jerseys on the ground, diving for those 50-50 balls. And R.J. Davis is doing what he does. Don't know really where the foul was. Oh, it's right towards the end. So R.J., that's what he needs to do. Get it going in transition, and that's where North Carolina is at their best. Defensive leads the team in offensive rebounding and plays the 8th most minutes on the squad. So it gives you insight to that's not their strength this year, but there's still a ton of room for improvement with some of these players that have on their roster down low on the block.
It's a 7-0 North Carolina run, and the crowd getting into it here at the Dean Smith Center. Foul on the floor. And that last foul on Cadeau. Reed. Cadeau back the other way. Cadeau tried to go up and under, and he got fouled.
Alabama, I don't know about that last call. Alabama's so good at spacing out the floor. Good pass right there. And Amori just slipping the screen. Lubin goes out. Nobody rotates over from the weak side. Strong finish. Try to break the rim.
Philon gets a piece of the paint, kick out. And that'll go for Aden Holloway.
Just a different player. I feel like I'm watching Aden Holloway perform than he was last year at Auburn. Just playing with so much more confidence offensively and not overthinking the game.
Great. Trimble, offensive rebound, but it wouldn't fall, and then Nelson had it knocked away. Good looks at it right there. Well, Alabama 46%, pretty good, but certainly not. Sears turns that one over. That's one of the areas where Nate Oates wants to see them get better. Just too many turnovers.
At 15 versus Oregon, like I said, Oregon went for 18 points off those turnovers, but that's more the style of defense that you want to see from North Carolina's guards. And Seth Trimble, push up, body a guy like Mark Sears, make life uncomfortable.
Last 2 games, Alabama. Philon. Davis picks it up, toss up ahead, shoots it. And the kid from the Bronx with the throw. And it'll stay Alabama basketball. 1:29 to go here in the first half.
It's a great look ahead by R.J. Davis and Jackson and McDonald. You know, how much can you afford realistically? With some of these prices, it's one of my themes. I have a theme this year for college basketball, and one of the 5 is bad investments. I think a lot of coaches are like, I should not have paid this amount of money for this player. Now, that's not applicable here for Nate Oates and his roster, but it's a common thing I hear amongst coaches in college basketball.
Aden Holloway knocks it down straight on 3. And the lead backed up to 11. Davis eyes. 43-36 as we get going here in the second half. All right, a couple of notes. First half, Trimble with just 4 points. He averages 16 for the Heels. Elliot Cadeau with 1 point. He averages 14. So they're going to need more production from those two guys. Davis inside, off balance. Shot was short. And out of bounds. Which way? Which way? And Brian O'Connell said.
And averages 8 free throw attempts per game. A master at getting to the free throw line.
Now that's a spot, though. Sears gets a good look, doesn't knock it down. North Carolina has got to collect the defensive rebound.
And Sears has 20 more free throw attempts than anybody else on their roster. That's how good he is at getting to the free throw line. Great job by Stevenson staying on top blocking that ball.
And off the mark. And here comes Alabama. Sears feeds Nelson. Puts it in.
Just careless turnovers.
Philon weaving. Big shot. Beautiful. LeBaron Philon. He's got 8.
This is the second time that Elliot Cadeau has just telegraphed the pass. Even on the transition pass, he looked exactly where he wanted to pass the ball.
Imagine Hubert Davis's group pulling off another amazing comeback without the aid of the 3. They're going to have to start to heat up from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to start with a sense of urgency on the defensive end, creating some turnovers. Alabama could be careless with the ball at times. We've seen that in the game against Oregon, but they need pressure to be applied.
Jackson and 1. And the freshman Ian Jackson will go to the line. Foul on Sears. That's his 3rd.
So that shows how good of a team Alabama is. And look, I know there's a lot of talk about Cooper Flagg. Dylan Harper might be the best freshman in the country. He's been going off, but that game they had against Houston was a dogfight. They were emotionally drained. The fact that they were able to come back and beat Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, it's a really good Steve Peichel team, and then lose to Oregon the way they did. This is an Alabama team that's going to contend for a national title. They get Chris Youngblood back. Obviously, having Mitzel out hurts him, but
that one rejected by Stevenson. And then Philon, a foul on the floor. And that foul will be on Drake Powell.
If any team in the country should be aware of transition defense after a made bucket, it should be North Carolina. That's what they do so exceptionally well. You know, Alabama plays the same way.
Yeah. Yep. Pat's QB in the house, and
talk about a guy doing a lot with less, huh?
Well, R.J. Davis knocking down the first. He's got 13, but again, the issue has been from deep. He's just 1 of 7 from 3, and North Carolina 2 for 16.
4 games. It's just, you know, Michigan State had 50 points in the paint, and there was no answer for it. And as you're seeing here, just offensive rebound after offensive rebound. They're not being met with any physicality, and they're getting dunk after layup.
Darian Reed able to find Amori, who's got 6. Second half, Duke and Auburn coming up at the conclusion of our game as Davis knocks it down to 2. He's got 16.
R.J. Davis struggling, but he feels like he's a guy that can turn it on. And this is a North Carolina team that can get hot. We watched them battle back, being down double digits in multiple games.
Sears in close, but couldn't finish.
Time he's been up there in Boston, spending some time with Joe Mazzulla and their staff, really paying attention to some of the sets they run, how they defend defensively. Him and Brian Adams have really made that a point of emphasis, the assistant coach that they were able to acquire from the Detroit Pistons. And that is how Nate Oates runs his system.
Cadeau will check back in.
Through the post, I think a guy like Withers can put the ball on the ground and attack certain matchups, right? But it's about getting them in operational positions on the court. And that's why I think those guys have to play. They have to play through that to a degree, because right now, all of your shot dependency is off the dribble for guys like Davis, Cadeau, Powell, and Trimble. And Alabama has the size, they have the length, and that's been proven time and time again defensively when they've gone against the likes of the guards of North Carolina. We were just talking about this. It feels like North Carolina is down 20 points. They were only down 14. Now it's 12. And 7:44 is a lot of time to get back in this game.
Stevenson the foul. Claude, the Georgia Tech grad transfer. 24 years old. One of the things you're seeing more and more in college basketball, some of these older guys. Careless pass there. Phylon, lob. And Omori will go to the line with 6:25 to go.
And North Carolina in their press. Mark Sears with his head up the whole time, finding Reed with the strong finish. It's almost like you don't want to see North Carolina press. You want to see them go back to like almost like a quarter containment, just to rush to get everybody back to protect the rim. Get back for the three, but he has to start operating in that elbow range, free throw extended line. He's going to get a lot of mid-range shots.
Sears is fouled. They get Kate Tyson with the shove. And for Tyson, his first personal foul. It'll be a 1-and-1 spot. And Mark Sears will go to the line. Sears, excellent free throw shooter.
Saying that, super talented as freshman. I'll rave about him in a second. But that little overextension by Cadeau, you don't need to do that. Just stay disciplined, right? They beat the trap. They beat the press. Just get back and get in the quarter containment defense.
I hear your grumpiness.
Is it grumpiness?
Phylon back the other way. Lamar Phylon, by the way,
so
does not have a turnover in almost 30. Washington will go to the line and shoot two. 4:27 to go. This one has been Alabama most of the way. Omori charged with that last foul, his second. 16-point advantage for the Crimson Tide. I've been impressed. I mean, look, both these teams have played a good schedule. Alabama's played a phenomenal schedule. That's been a staple under Nate Oates since coming from Buffalo. They play as tough a schedule as anybody in the out of bounds. It'll stay Alabama basketball with 10 to go. 82-69 here in Chapel Hill. Still ACC first team and obviously the rookie of the year. So again, you're looking at one of the premier talents in college basketball. But again, still learning, right?
Well, I think they have. I said it earlier. I think they have the most.
7.5 points a game. And
I mean, think about what this team could have been if Whitesell didn't get hurt. I mean, they also have Chris Youngblood coming back. He's a transfer from USF. He provides physicality and elite shooting. And they are loaded with firepower.
89-74, back in 30 seconds.
I was out on a delivery when I came across a snake.
FedEx presents Tall Tales of True Delivery.
And a basketball coach at Romulus High School. Like, that's where he got his start.
Terry Mills. Yeah.
Like, and just to think about how he was there, then he was an assistant at Buffalo under Bob Hurley, then taking on the Buffalo reins, and now coming to Alabama. What he's been able to achieve in his short time there. I mean, 2 SEC regular season championships, 2 SEC tournament championships, 3 trips to the Sweet 16, program's first ever appearance in the Final Four. And obviously a disappointing loss for North Carolina. Wanted to get that sense from them coming off some of those tough losses in Maui. But just going against a team that is just loaded offensively, just has so many weapons.
Moving left hand is good.